Alright, now the last thing I want to talk about is defense in Street Fighter V. Now defense is just as important as offense because it allows you to obviously not lose the game. So it's a very important skill to have and something that a lot of people overlook because they think that the best defense is a good offense. Not true, you need to have solid defense and offense to be able to win a game against a skilled opponent. Now the most important thing that I've learned from Street Fighter V is that the game works on turns. Now what does that mean? Turns means that you and your opponent have to take turns in during offense. And a very simple way to demonstrate this is if I use Cammy instead of Juri. Now Cammy has a lot of really good strings that can convert into good damage, like so. So for no meter, I just took off a quarter of Juri's life. This is quite a good way of being able to do damage, obviously, because 4 of these, and she's practically dead. But what happens if Juri blocks all of this? Well, there's an interesting thing happens, and I want you to see what happens. Something interesting happens. Now watch the distance of Juri to Cammy as I do this. Now she's suddenly very far away from me. I can't attack her anymore. My longest range attack's no longer working against Juri. And this is what I mean by taking turns. If you block enough hits from an opponent, it doesn't matter what they do, you will be pushed away from them into the neutral state. The offense will have reset to neutral because they have run out of ways to attack you. It doesn't matter how many times I do this, Juri will always get pushed back, and this is what I mean by turns. So once this is finished, my offense here is done. I can no longer press a button and be able to continue offense. I have to move in, I have to do something else, which will put me at a risk of being able to attack Juri and being countered. So these are all things to remember when you're attacking your opponents. And more importantly, when you're defending, if you block long enough, you will be pushed out of defense by default. Now you might say to me, but what if they do a throw in the middle of this? What if they do like bam, bam, and then just come up and throw me? Well, that is unfortunate, I will say that much. You've got me there, you've taken some damage. But what's more important than that is that you've eaten a throw. And a throw, as you can see, does not do very much damage. Compared to the damage that I just did to Juri a second ago, that throw is not really rocking her world. Now what's important to remember about that is that you're talking about risk versus reward. Street Fighter V is a game which is built purely on the premise of risk versus reward. So in the middle of this block string, if Cammy decides to do a throw, you've taken very little damage. However, if in the middle of that block string you get nervous about eating a throw and decide to try and press the tech button, just make sure that she's not going to try and throw you, and instead she continues the combo, you suddenly take a lot more damage. Juri took 130 damage from that throw. But if you decide to tech after the jump and eat the rest of the combo, look at how much damage you're going to take. 214. So taking a throw is never the worst thing that's ever going to happen to you. It's always preferable to take a throw in the middle of a block string than to eat the rest of the combo. I can guarantee you that. And characters, especially characters like Cammy or like Bison or like Balrog, they want you to press that throw button. They want you to get nervous and try to take out of a throw that's not coming, because the throw will never do as much damage as the rest of their combo. You'll find characters like this very rarely go for throws because they would much rather you get nervous and press a button. So you want them to do a throw at the end of the day. You want them to try and stop their combo and stop their offense, because if they do it enough times, you can look to start taking that throw if you know it's coming. But at any other time, it's always beneficial to just block and wait until their offense is finished and it's your turn. Now, we talked about invincible reversals before, and Cammy has a really good one. So what happens when the opponent does a knockdown to you, and you want to try and get out of it safely? Now, obviously you can do a DP on Wake Up. I've set Juri to do a flying kick and a foot sweep straight afterwards. Now, we already talked about Wake Up reversals, but what if you don't even want to get that far? What if you want to try and stop their offense in the middle of a block string? Well, that's where something called V reversals comes into play. The input differs for every single character, but typically a V reversal works by pressing either forward, triple punch, or triple kick. And what this will allow you to do is that for one portion of your V-trigger gauge, you'll be able to stop their attack in their tracks with a reversal, which is completely invincible to everything except throws. Let me give you an example of this. I've set Juri up to do a flying kick and a foot sweep, which is a basic knockdown combo. Now I can't do a DP in the middle of this. If I try to do a DP, it will just come out as being blocked. It's a block string, so I can't do anything in the middle, and I will get swept as a result. However, if I do a V reversal, I'll be able to actually stop her offense in its tracks, like so. Now you can see that actually took a portion of my V-trigger gauge. but it causes an instant reversal every single time. It's, as I said, it's invincible to anything except for a throw. Now, this is very, very important, and it's something that you never see used at low levels of the game because it's something that people don't consider, because it only causes white damage. You can see Drew taking white damage there. She's not taking actual damage. I have to follow up afterwards if I wanted to take that white damage. But it is incredibly powerful because it's so good for stopping a lot of different ways of offense. Let me show you some examples with different characters. Zangief's V trigger is a nightmare for a lot of characters because it means being put in a situation where you don't know how long to block for, if he's going to stop it and go for a throw or continue to put you in the blender. But a V reversal allows you to cancel that offense instantly. In Street Fighter V, you are unable to chip a character to death if you use a normal or special move if they are on the last sliver of health. However, you can still use a super move to be able to kill someone through chip damage. Once again, V reversals can actually be used to defeat a super move if used properly. So that is the power of V reversals. They are an incredibly useful tool if used in the right situations and at the right times to completely kill someone's momentum or to be able to revert or avert being killed by a super move. And it's something you should definitely consider using rather than saving your V trigger for actually triggering it at the end of the match every single time. Alright guys, that's going to do it for now. I hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done any of those things yet. I'll be back with more episodes of how to level up your game very soon.